Hey there, I'm Mags, also known as the Marketer Whisperer. If you've ever felt the doubts and pressures of leadership starting to sap your confidence and passion for this amazing job, then this podcast is for you. As a former marketer myself, I've lived through the chaos of consumer brands for over 16 years, so I do get what you're going through. And that's enough to leave any smart and driven marketer feeling like a burnt out version of their former self. But it doesn't have to be this way. So on this show, I'll be sharing pragmatic tips and also real stories to help you feeling confident, creative, and passionate about marketing leadership again. We've all been there before. You're sitting in an important meeting with senior stakeholders and you have an idea or maybe an opinion you want to share. But for some reason, you hold back. You second guess yourself thinking, will they think my idea is stupid? Is it worth interrupting? What if I say it wrong? So you stay quiet while the extroverts take over the conversation. I mean, national account managers, anyone? Please don't repeat that. You leave feeling frustrated with yourself. And you probably even wonder, why didn't I speak up? So if this sounds familiar, you're not alone. Many marketing leaders that I speak to struggle to fully contribute in meetings. The reasons that often come up in my conversations with them are threefold: self-doubt and imposter syndrome, fear of negative judgment, and they lack confidence in speaking out in public, especially when it comes to senior stakeholders. But keeping your ideas to yourself is detrimental to your career. To be a leader means owning your voice. And by that, I don't condemn introverts. Owning your voice doesn't need to be mean and loud and, aggressive and super shouty. To prove my point, have a think about someone around in your organization, an inspiring leader that has charisma and is empathetic, but isn't an extrovert. How inspiring are they? So today I'm going to share with you 3 ways to help you speak up powerfully in meetings so your ideas are heard, but also without sacrificing who you are. And that's going to be not only to your benefit, but to your brand's benefits. Because your brand needs you to speak up. Your brand heavily relies on you in these meetings. Okay, ready? Advice 1. Overcome the mental block holding you back from speaking up. So the first step to do that is to identify what is holding you back. So based on conversations I've had with my coaches, here would be the top mental blocks I've come across. Imposter syndrome, that makes you doubt yourself. Fear of getting embarrassed if you say something stupid. Worrying you'll be judged for having a different opinion to the rest of the room. And feeling you don't have the right to speak up in front of these senior people who have 10 plus years more experience than you. So once you know the root cause, you can start reframing your thoughts. So grab a cuppa and start reminding yourself that 1, you deserve to be heard just as much as anyone else. The number of years of experience doesn't dictate the level of righteousness. Second, it's okay not to have the perfect response. Your ideas have value. Maybe the people in the room will really like what you're on about and maybe even build on it. Other people's judgments say more about them than you. I mean, negative Nancy, anyone? And nothing terrible will happen if you speak up. It's just chocolate. I mean, replace chocolate with whatever your industry is here, right? Okay, advice number 2. A simple formula that's going to help you structure your thoughts before you respond. So when you want to contribute, first, structure your thoughts using that other 3P formula. Yes, more P's, because that's what we like in marketing. First is point. Summarize your main point or your opinion in 1 sentence. Proof. Provide reasoning or evidence that supports this point. 3, punchline. And with a strong statement or a call to action. So I do find that even in certain circumstances, asking a question instead of a statement is even more impactful as a punchline, because it encourages others around the room to join in or to support or build on what you've just said. So I'll cover great questions in another episode, because that's another leadership skill I absolutely love and I think is underrated. But anyway, back to the topic. Having this template in mind of point, proof, punchline makes you sound polished, authoritative, confident, whatever is the adjective you want to use for yourself. So, for example, you could say something like, I think we should lower our social ad budget next quarter. That's the point. Because engagement has been declining steadily week on week. That's the proof. We should shift that spend to more performing channels like paid search. That's the punchline. How does that sound? That also is a punchline I like to use. Advice number 3 here. So I'm going to give you some tips to project confidence even if you don't feel it, which is a lot of the times actually. So pay attention to how you deliver your message through your body language and the tone. Yes, I know you've heard it like in trainings a gazillion times because it is true and it does work. And this is why sometimes we do struggle on Zooms or team meetings to read the room well, because we only see just a portion of their heads and upper body, and sometimes it's even pixelized if you have a really bad connection. So how's that for body language? But here are some of the things you can pay attention to easily. Speak slowly, loudly, and clearly. Just use the type of volume that you're comfortable with and that is also appropriate to the room. Maintain strong eye contact, be it in physical face-to-face meetings as well as Zoom and Teams. Don't necessarily look at your slides. In fact, sometimes it's even better if you forget the slides because you will sound more natural. You know your topic very well. Trust yourself. Just have a couple of notes if you want to, but most of the time, having no references in front of you and just looking at the faces of people, even if it's like 15 on your Zoom or Teams screen, is much better to maintain eye contact. People can actually see your pupils, going from left to right when you read, and that's just distracting and boring. Sit or stand tall with an open posture. As I'm saying that right now, I'm kind of being conscious of my body, and I'm kind of crunched over the phone because I'm recording that podcast. And all of a sudden here, I'm going to sit and kind of put my head up. And I don't know if you can hear the difference. I can, but I don't know with the mic if it makes a difference or not. But all of a sudden, my breathing is easier. I got more options, and it just feels so much better. And hopefully the impact on you is also more positive. Use gestures for emphasis, and within moderations, of course. We don't want to see your hands going from all over the screen or all over the place at all times. It's distracting and not really pleasant. However, they can be used really effectively to put the focus on certain points. Pay attention to your face expressions, especially those you're not aware of. A bit of feedback from your mates could be also quite useful, but we tend to sometimes use a lot of our muscles on our face to kind of showcase, surprise, anger, eagerness, and so on. And sometimes it's really important that we pay attention to them too. Avoid qualifiers like "I'm no expert but," because this is undermining your contribution. There's a lot of marketeers who are using those types of expressions to almost apologize or justifying the fact that their opinion differs from the main opinion in the room. Do not say those words. Really refrain yourself from using these words and just simply stick to the 3 Ps. What is your point you want to make? Give a proof and add a punchline or a question. Use pauses or silences in a thoughtful way to command the room. Silences and pauses can be gold mines. They don't have to be awkward. They can actually put an emphasis on a point that you want to make. So employ these techniques to help you show confidence and leadership when you talk and communicate with other people. Even if you don't feel it inside, if you don't feel like at your best, it really will help. Breathing, silences and pauses help you get your breath back. And actually for your body to rest even for a second or two, and that makes a big difference. Try it, Don't take my word for it, just try it and you'll see. Try it even with your spouse or children or friends and stuff, and you'll see how it really helps. Practice a lot, practice regularly. So I'm going to give you a challenge now actually to practice, because I'm all about being pragmatic in my approach to leadership skills. It's easy to have stuff, on a slide or in a training or even in a podcast, but it's useless if you don't practice it. Look into your diary for the next 2 weeks. Pick a meeting where you can start applying these strategies in it. I know that with practice, you will gain the power to speak up and be heard when it matters most. To practice, then practice, and practice again. Speak soon. Thank you for joining me on another insightful episode of The Marketing Whisperer. If you found value in this episode, I'd be so grateful if you could leave a rating and a review on the podcast app of your choice. It really would help me reach more marketing leaders like you who could benefit from these insights in return. And I'd love if you would join upon my community of marketing leaders. All details are available on my website, startingblockscoaching.com. And lastly, if you're seeking one-to-one coaching, group workshops maybe for your team, leadership training, marketing expertise or career advice, basically everything that makes you a better marketing leader, feel free to get in touch with me on LinkedIn. Search for Magali Leroux. I don't know how else to pronounce it to make it easier. Speak soon.